What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns.
Beers and Breakdowns.
Is this recording? It is recording.
It is recording.
We're getting less and less professional as we go. Leave in the comments down below who the YouTuber is for the introduction. I'm going to say the intro. He's going to stop jerking off his glass because it makes me feel uncomfortable. You're going to tell me who the YouTuber is. So you guys already know what's up because I've done that multiple times. Peter McKinnon. That was a freebie. So this one is... and shit, I drew a blank what he says. Oh, he goes, what's up, party people?
Who does?
You're not going to know him.
What's up, party people?
Yep. Drop a comment in the comment section if you know who that is. What YouTuber says, what's up, party people? If you guys don't follow Liver King, turns out, who'd have thunk it, that eating raw liver doesn't stack on 30 pounds of muscle.
I'm going to go on record and say that I'm a Liver King fan.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. He put on a masterclass of how if you want to go from nobody knows who the fuck you are to making millions of dollars off of internet persona, he put on a masterclass. Now, he may have been lying, so that was a mistake he made.
Just don't have morals, and you could do it.
Right, but at the same time, he still literally showed you a blueprint. It's like, hey, you want to go from nobody knowing who the fuck you are at all to being one of the most famous people on the planet? There you go.
I'm gonna start a channel called The Chicken King. I'm gonna eat raw chicken, and then I'm gonna take steroids and be like, if you want to get like me, eat raw chicken. And dye myself from salmonella.
I'm gonna dye myself. How do you die? You can kill yourself?
Well, I'm gonna also die.
I'm gonna dye myself.
Yeah, like I'm also gonna die because I'm gonna get salmonella. And then, once the cameras turn off, I'm gonna go inject myself with 10 grand worth of juice, put on 50 fucking pounds, and you guys are gonna be like, this is insane. You just gotta eat raw chicken.
You guys might not know this, but we're here to review a movie.
Oh, that's right.
Now, this movie is called...
What is it called?
The Town.
Oh, we're doing The Town. What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. In this episode, we're gonna review a movie called The Town. One of probably the last good movies Ben Affleck did in his career. Do you think he's done anything really good since? I like the Batmans though. I like Ben Affleck as a Batman.
Well, he's a tabloid king lately, you know, with his wife and
who's his wife?
All that fun stuff. Well, his kids. I think. Didn't he let his kid he had a Lamborghini Urus and he let his kid drive it, like his baby. He put it on his lap and just let her drive it. And
fuck's wrong with
that? The tabloids went as well. I mean,
that sounds
nothing
fun
at all.
As hell.
But welcome to 2022, where you can't do a fucking thing without everybody being like, how dare you, it's child endangerment.
I had a stepdad who was a meth addict and now, and a fucking Hell's Angel, and is now dead. Put me on his lap to drive a fucking, the S10.
Okay.
So Paul, God rest his soul, he was an awesome dude. He was a meth addict, he was a Hell's Angel. He was my stepdad, but he was cool. And he had a fucking Chevy S10 with racing slicks on it that were like this big. And he was like, I remember him taking me down the dirt roads and he's like, you want to drive? And I was like 6. I was like, hell yeah, I want to drive. And he's all right, you're going to sit on my lap. No weird shit. It was just sitting on the lap. You're going to sit on my lap. I'm going to drive for you. He goes, hit it. And I was like, let's fucking go. And I'm doing this, and I'm just trying to stay in the center of the road, right? Because like the road seems really fucking small for me, being 6 years old, trying to steer this Chevy. And he's like, dude, stay on the right side. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, I'm not getting close to the edge, dude. So I'm driving like fast as fuck. He's pushing the gas, and we're going balls-ass fucking hauling down the center of a dirt road. And that was my first time driving a car, and it was awesome. Paul's a good dude.
Things are gonna get bad.
Paul is a good dude.
The preface.
He ended up giving my brother a gun, who was 8. So my brother's out front shooting a gun into the tree. He's got a 22 pistol, and my brother's just like, "Patow, patow," and I walk out. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm 6, he's 8, and I was like, I didn't say fuck, but I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Paul gave me a gun, dude," and I was like, yes!
Oh,
yes!
My
I was like, we got a
God.
gun! So we're out in the middle of the desert in our trailer with Paul, who deals meth, and I don't know if he was a Hell's Angel at that point or if he became a Hell's Angel later, but ended up becoming a Hell's Angel, and he's shooting he gave my brother a pistol, and my brother's shooting it into a Joshua tree in our front yard. And I came out and I was like, ha, 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 I'm going to shoot a gun. Yes. And I was excited. And then my mom finally decided to act like a mom for once in her life and took the gun away. Paul ended up also giving us our first Swiss Army knives, which was awesome. He said, you guys are men now? And gave us Swiss Army knives. And I was like, I pulled out the knife and I was like, shink.
Comment down below if you guys enjoyed this movie. I thought this movie was really good.
I thought this movie was amazing.
Bank robbery movie was great.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. I think the best part about it is that they use the Boston culture. I'm like, we're brothers. The town looks after us. Like, people aren't looking for us because we're part of them. We're part of this small community.
Yeah.
It's like Whitey Burger. How do you spell it? Bulger. They're the gangster
that got caught after so many years.
Right. And you know, like the gangsters giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving and like creating that community. So they created the Boston community. They created the love story, which I get is important for a lot of people to like blend in the movie to civilian life.
Plus, this one has Blake Lively. Blake Lively.
Who's that? Which one was that?
Yeah.
The trashy chick.
Yeah.
I had a note in here that said everyone's got one.
How fucking dare she was the most beautiful one on planet Earth. How dare you?
Doesn't matter. In this movie, she's trailer trash, bro.
And I think the dark horse of this film,
because I'm trailer trash.
I think the dark horse of this film was Jeremy Renner. Very, very good acting from Jeremy Renner in this movie.
Oh, he kills it. He kills it.
His fucking annihilates it in this
His whole character of being the loose end. I'm already committed to prison. I don't give a fuck. Like, I grew up like that. Like, I grew up, my brother and I got in a lot of fights. We did a lot of stupid shit. I've slammed dudes in heads in car doors. I've done some crazy shit with my brother. I've watched my brother beat people to the point where we gotta go. You know, like we've pulled out 2x4s, we've pulled out chains. With this guy, I've pulled out pipes before. Was it a pipe at the club? Or he was grabbing a pipe?
No, he was grabbing a crowbar.
He was grabbing a crowbar.
Yeah.
We've been in some shit. And so, like, for me, Boondock Saints, The Town, Brothers, anytime you start involving that, like, brotherhood thing, it's like my real brother and then my chosen brother together make up all those stories, because we did that shit. A lot of that shit.
The high desert is a fun place to be when you're young.
When you're young and when you're like borderline a criminal.
Well, yeah, exactly. When all you care about is fucking getting hammered and getting Del Taco.
Getting laid and getting hammered.
It's about the only time that the high desert is a conducive place to whatever it is that
Other than that, if you go there, you're an idiot because you're going to ruin your whole career in life.
But if you do, go to Gators. I'll see you there.
Yeah,
and if you see me, don't fucking tell anyone. Be a gentleman. Yeah?
We might frequent Gators every once in a while.
I love that place. Blackberries. Put your fucking Blackberry down here.
And if you hear me start talking like Ben Affleck in this, I can't help it.
Do you like the Boston accent?
That Boston accent's coming in. God forbid you get an Irish accent when I'm drinking, because I will fucking come out with Sean McGregor.
All right, I know you're going to tell me your notes on this one, but first I want to ask you, as a tactical person, as somebody who has been in combat, you've been in Afghanistan, if you were going to take down a bank, not because you wanted to, but because you had to and you thought in your mind it was the only fucking way that you were going to get money, how would you do this? You have 5 people on your team. How are you going to take down a bank?
How would I take down a bank?
And not take down, but how are you going to infiltrate, get the money, get out, be gone?
I don't know, dude. That's tough because so much pre-work would have to be done. Everything comes down to pre-work.
Well, let's say you have the time.
Okay, so I want an inside person, obviously, just basics. I need to know what I'm trying to access. So if I'm trying to access the vault, how do I open it? Who's got access to it? I need somebody that works there because I need to know where the safeties are. So where are the safeties? Who's going to access the safety? What's their protocols? Because they're going to have a protocol in place. So it's not just going to be like everyone in there knows to hit that button. somebody's going to be next to a button. Someone's going to be not next to a button. So is there buttons? Is it a switch? Is it a motion detector? What times are they open? When is the busiest time that they're open? There's so much intel that has to go into it. I need to know, like, who works there. Dude, it's almost unbelievable how much intel you would need. So I would start from way early. Who works there? Can we convert them? And converting who works there, we need to know, do we need to make them fall in love? Or do we need to threaten them? Do we need to hold their family member hostage and make them scared? Or do we need to make them think that they love us and that they'll do anything for us? So that's one problem that we got to solve. And then once we have someone on the inside, don't act on any of it. Just keep letting them work there and then letting them know and building the confidence of that person. So that could take 6 months. And then once that person starts feeding us intel, that's when we're in the sweet spot. Because then that person's going to come and say, I have a security camera here, here, here. When is the security camera uploaded by the bank? When is it uploaded onto online? Is it uploaded constantly? Is it constantly running? Is the security footage accessible to where, like in this movie, they steal it? Most banks are going to it's just going to be in like a cloud. Right? So you're not going to have access to that. Who has access? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So intel through the fucking gill.
So intel, yeah.
So what I would do is you got to get an in, and then once you get that in, you spend 6 months to a year with that in working in the bank. And I'm talking about 6 months to a year, probably most likely a year, of just every fucking thing. Who's coming out? What is the manager like? What is his patterns of life? Who's coming in? What is the busiest time? What is the slowest time? Who is the asshole of the bank? Personalities. There's not enough information that you could possibly have. Every amount of information you could have. And then once you have all that information, then you have to start breaking down the actual heist itself, how to get in, the best way to get in, your exfil plan, your infill plan, you got DNA. It's just so much, dude. Because imagine that you made a solid plan, you did your intel, you got in, you got the money, you got out. You left hair DNA, somebody saw you. My biggest thing with this is, my biggest issue is that they're talking without anything covering their voice. They're not changing their voice.
Right.
So they're just this Boston accent.
Like Batman?
Yeah, like, hey girl.
What is the vault open?
Hey girl, get down on there. You know,
Tell
it's
me
like,
now.
Like they clearly are from Boston.
Right.
That's an issue. You shouldn't know fucking anything about me.
Yeah.
You shouldn't know that I'm from Boston. You shouldn't know that I have a Southie accent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't know that, like, that's a lot of intel. Because, you know what I'm saying? So everything has to be covered. So short story, if I were to rob a bank...
Short story long?
Short story long, if I were to rob a bank, I'm talking about at minimum. And that's like bare bones minimum, 2 years of intel. And then even that presents an issue because of the transitions of employees and managers switching out. Picking the right location. So I even fucked that up. Before we even get into intel like that, we have to go back to picking the right location based on infill, exfil, turnover. If you're picking a small bank where there's committed people, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
You could literally, you could spend 5 years casing one location. But then what's the payoff? 5 years, you walk out with 200 grand? Is that a good payout for 5 years of work? 200 grand? No, it's not. So now all of a sudden robbing a bank is a bad fucking idea.
Okay, so I have an alternative idea. This is how I would rob a bank.
Okay.
I haven't thought about this. I just thought about this.
I am never going to stop.
I just thought about this in the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
This is how I would rob a bank.
Okay.
Instead of infiltrating the bank, okay, I would infiltrate the police department. Instead, I would just pick somebody in the police department or multiple people in the police department and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. This is all you have to do or not do, right? And you just need to buy me 5 minutes, right? We know when the alarm's going to get sounded. We know it's going to get sounded. This is how much time I have. I need you to not respond for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, but one officer can't do that.
Unless it's the right officer at the right time, at the right place, on the right shift, in the right area, right? It's all about how far away they are. So if I know that he's on shift and I know his area, and he knows somebody who's in his area, and we have a certain amount of money they're going to get paid, and they get paid shit, I know, because you know, that if I offer them a large sum of money to just stand down for like a little while, that's what I would go for. I wouldn't go for the bankers, I would go for the cops. And then I would work my way down from there. And then I'd be like, okay, now we can just go in and do a standard issue fucking robbery. They're going to push the button. The company's going to contact. They're going to go for the area. Those guys will know. Those guys will just hold steady or find a way and then just buy us enough time to get out.
Here's the flaw with that, though. One area with one bank would have 15 officers, not one.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I would get caught. Oh. Oh, no.
Let's go. Where's your purse?
So this is another thing that I would be curious about. I get it, it's a movie pouring bleach on stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're pouring bleach. The act alone doesn't matter. You can pour bleach on fucking anything you want. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
So before going into this operation, personally, I would want to conduct experiments. I would want multiple DNA samples set up, almost like a mini lab.
Yeah.
And then I would want to exterminate that DNA and have it tested to see if they could pull DNA from it. So I would put hair, I would put skin, I would put spit, I would, anything that could possibly come out of my mouth and off my body, and I would have different testing sites. And this wouldn't be hard. It would just be sectioning off 5 or 6 spots and then putting DNA in each one. And then for each one of them, I would pour bleach on it. And then the other one, I would do a bleach bomb. Then I would find pneumonia. Then I would find all the different things. I would test them all. So before going into this operation, I would know which way is the best way to exterminate DNA. Because think about it, one strand of hair and you're fucking in prison for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So is it not worth it to do the work and to figure out what is the best way to get rid of DNA?
Yeah.
I don't think that pouring it out of a bottle is the
Like
best way to
this.
do it, like this. Because so your hair floated and stuck to this spot. You're doing this. Like, come on, man. We need a way to disperse this. What if it's okay, so what if we have a DNA bomb? I'm sorry, like a bleach bomb. So we put a small charge, maybe a blasting cap, a small amount of C4, tiny amount of C4 on a blasting cap, and it blows up. What does that do as far as area dispersion?
Yeah.
That's one test we need to do. The other one we need to do is, what about a pump system? Like you would do a pesticide, and a pump and spray. Is that the best way to do it? I would imagine that is a better way to do it than randomly pouring it out, because then you're spraying an entire area. So everywhere that you've touched and been gets sprayed. You have one guy, particularly, that has a backpack full of bleach, where that's pumped, ready to go, that he has that pump like a yard's worth, and that he could spray massive areas, and that his only job is to spray the whole thing in bleach. Now, what works better? Bleach, pneumonia? What works the best to get rid of DNA? So I would want to conduct multiple tests and to find out what is the best delivery option for exterminating DNA. So it sounds like I'm just like fucking blabbing about all these things I would do. I'm serious about multiple 1 to 2 years of testing to figure out every phase of this operation to make sure it's best. Dude, this old fashioned, real quick, is fucking incredible. This is a Woodford Reserve Double Oak Old Fashioned. So I got my Woodford Reserve, a couple shots of that, about a shot and a half of Woodford, We got some orange bitters. We got a little bit of the Maraschino cherry juice.
Maraschino?
So the machino, is that what he said?
Maraschino.
Whatever. So some cherry, just a touch of cherry juice. If you have the cherry, we ran out of cherries. The cherry, and then some simple syrup, and yeah.
Cheers, senor.
Cheers.
Woo! Beers and breakdowns. Oh, I got a drink.
To Beers and Breakdowns, all the fans that watch the show and love the show, we thank you guys so much for being here. Truly, we appreciate it. Go check out the FNGacademy.com, sign up for the email list. I know that sounds like a spiel, but I promise you that we're delivering more than any other person, business out there, trying to help people become their best version of themselves with the special operations mindset. We're doing the Mentorship Academy. We are helping you. We are mentoring you, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. We're developing products like the Ruck Trainer, like the AR670-1, moccasins, amazing boots, getting done in Mexico by the same factory that does Timberlands. They're fucking incredible. Zero drop, wide toe box, EVA foam cushion for exactly the environment that you're going to be dealing with in selection. Nobody is doing more for you to get you selected than us at the FNGacademy.com. So make sure you go check us out. I promise you, we got your back. So let's move on to the next timestamp. Oh, he's just the guy that they got hired. They're enforcers for the
I
mob.
don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know? No. How about now? Chill. Now do you know? Chill. Hey, don't fucking tell me to chill. That's enough. What'd you do? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No? I don't know. There goes solid soccer. Hey, look at me. See my face? Don't tell the cops, all right? But just remember, I see those too.
That's fucking gangster, dude.
Gangster as fuck.
fucking
That's how you
awesome,
handle
dude.
it. So, funny story. All right. Pam, my wife, when we first met, but after we first met, we find ourselves in a club. So, Pam, my wife is beautiful. Beautiful, proving woman. Beautiful. She's talking to this dude. This dude comes up to her and starts talking to her. I look at her and I was like, she's way too beautiful for this guy. He's like hounding her. So she feels nice. She's like, okay, I'll give him my number, whatever. She gives him her number. This guy starts texting her and he won't stop. So she tells me, she's like, this guy, and I'm a soldier, we're in Germany, he's a soldier. I know who he is.
Which, to clear things up, this is before you guys were even together.
Not even
like,
dating.
Yeah,
No,
this is
we
like
weren't
before,
even dating.
yeah.
I just met her and we liked her. I liked her a lot.
Okay.
But then we start getting a little more serious, and she's like, hey, this guy won't stop hitting me up. I gave my number to be nice. He seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know anybody in Germany, so I gave my number. He keeps texting. I was like, just tell him to stop texting you. She's like, I did. She showed me the text. He told her, she was like, stop texting me. Hey, stop texting me. He keeps texting her. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? And I was like, all right, just block him. We'll move on. Mm-hmm. She blocks him. Still, like, her phone starts ringing and shit. And he keeps calling her. He's creepy. I was like, all right. So I called my buddy up. And I was like, hey, man, I need to run an errand.
And this guy's in the service?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't get it twisted. Like, there's gangsters in the service. Like, a lot of people run from gang life to go military and then just continue gang life in the military. Like, I got jumped by gangsters. Like, I've been threatened by Bloods in the military. So she tells me, she's like, he won't stop texting me. She told him to stop. He won't stop. I was like, all right. So I call my buddy. He's like, hey, I want to run an errand. Do you want to come with me? And he's like, yeah, all right. So we go to his barracks, and I walk in his room, and I check the door, and I open it, and it opens. I was like, fuck yeah. So I open it, and wide open. Me and my boy walk in, and he's sitting on his bed, and I was like, what's up, dude? He's like, oh, Sean, what's up, bro? What's going on? And I shut the door, and I lock it, and I was like, and he's like, oh, fuck.
Somebody locks the door behind them.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
So I was like, hey, dude, you got a problem. I was like, the girl I'm seeing told you to stop texting her. You keep texting her. Now you got a problem. He's like, I'm so sorry. Oh, no. And it would have, this is what I planned on doing, is just whooping his ass. And my buddy Brown just watching my back in case he had 3 or 4 friends with him at the time.
Right.
So I didn't bring Brown in to jump him.
Right, yeah.
But I brought him to watch my back in case he had multiple people. So he ended up not fighting back. And I was like, where's your phone? And he's like, what? And I was like, where's your phone? Give me your phone. And he's like, all right, this is my phone. And he handed me his phone. And I went in and I found her, deleted her number from it, and I handed the phone back. So he texts her one more time and come back. I'm going to lock that door again. And by the time I leave, you're going to need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, bet.
Bet.
Never texted her again. Never heard from him again. That was it. So sometimes
It's a force for good.
Sometimes coming in hot handles business. You don't have to be shooting to do it in the knees. I don't know why he went all...
It's Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner went...
Hawkeye got a gun for the first time, so he's got a...
He's like, this ain't a bow and arrow. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Which is, by the way, my go-to move. If I had
The
a gun.
bow and arrow?
No, they're shooting people in the knees.
Bro.
You can shoot the fuck out of people in their legs, and as long as they get medical attention in a certain amount of time, they're going to live.
Where's that bullet going, though?
I don't fucking care. Like,
That's what I'm saying, though. What if that bullet travels through that second floor and hits somebody? Now you're on murder
No,
charges.
I don't mean like shooting down. I just mean shooting people in general.
But that's what he did. He just shot into his legs, like not even concerned about where that bullet's going.
No, yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, if you got a problem with somebody and
Why not just pistol whip them?
It's like deadly force doesn't have to be deadly force. You can just kneecap the fuck out of everybody in front of you and let them deal with the fucking the fallout.
That's some gamer shit.
Just fucking kneecap them. Just obliterate the kneecap. They're never gonna walk again. Fuck their legs. But you know, I mean, it just makes more sense. Just fucking blast. Fuck the knees.
Blast.
No, fuck it. You don't gotta shoot people in the face. Just fucking crack. You know how many people would still be walking around and like not be in jail if they just learned the kneecap technique?
5110.
In the legs.
It's funny though, because that's what people say to cops. Like, why don't you just shoot them in the legs? Like, bitch, if I'm shooting at all.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say with cops, but I just.
Speaking of that, cops. Story. It shows up on Yahoo. My guy, Texas guy, he's like, came out with the rifle. The parents say he was defending his home. All he did was walk out and the police shot him.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
He walked out with a gun?
Yeah, he walked out with a rifle.
Okay.
Police shot him.
Sure.
I was like, fuck, man. Fuck those police. Those police are dickheads. Why the fuck would they do that? If a guy walks out and he's just like, hey, officers, I'm defending my home. That's what the parents said, right?
Okay.
That's what they said that he did. He walked out
I'm
and he
assuming
was
you
just
watched
defending
the video.
Yeah. So he just walks out and he's defending his home. And the police officer shot him. Fucking piece of shit police officers. That's what's going through my head. Piece of shit. Why would you do that?
Okay.
Tell him to put the gun down at least.
All right.
Right? That's what the parents said that he did, was just walked out. He was defending his home. He just walked out. Police officer shot him. Clearly, police officers are a piece of shit, right?
Right.
Okay. We're all in agreement. Police officers are a piece of shit.
Sure.
Okay. Just want to clarify. Watch the video.
What happened?
This motherfucker has a gun, walks out of his house, says, come at me, motherfucker. All starts on all this motherfucker, you don't want any. Goes back inside, shoots the gun, shoots it off, comes back outside, points it out to the street.
Oh, yeah. Now you're done.
Goes back inside, cussing, comes back out, waving his rifle around. Officer tells him, drop his rifle, shoots. 911 call came in, already from the neighbor saying that he's firing rounds. Not that he's standing there defending himself, saying, this is my rifle, this is my home, I deserve to be here.
Right.
He's already firing fucking rounds. And then he walks outside and starts pointing the fucking rifle at potential victims.
Yeah.
He could be a mass shooter.
Right.
How does it go? How does the narrative change from the video evidence that this guy is pointing his rifle at people, pointing his rifle, period. Whether there's someone standing there or not, why is your rifle up when there's nobody out there?
Right, yeah.
And then how did you shoot around inside your house and claim that there's an intruder and there's no one inside your house? How did that narrative get switched to he was just defending his home, he just walked out, and the police officer just shot him?
Facebook, ladies and gentlemen.
And you go back to Fenway Park, and you get another great ending.
Pause. So tactically, leading up to this, a few really good decisions. One is to go to a barbershop and collect all the hair, and then spread that around to throw off hair. I thought that was fucking genius.
That was super genius, yeah.
I don't know if I would have thought of that, but you can't have fucking 15 suspects
Right.
for one crime. So I think that's super genius, is like just take a bunch of hair and just fucking overwhelm it. So they're just going to get so frustrated with how many hair follicle DNA samples that they have, and every one of them has an alibi, that they're going to give up on hair DNA.
Right.
That's fucking smart. I don't know whose idea that was to show that, but probably have him on some kind of watch list, because that's really fucking smart. And then the second thing is they're scrubbing their nails and their arms like with brushes, which I get, kind of. You're trying to get loose hair. You're trying to get loose DNA off. You're trying to get DNA, skin DNA off. You know, all that stuff that's going to just evaporate over the day and like come off. I get that. You want to scrub that off so you're not leaving anything behind. And then they're going to put gloves on and tape it up. Perfectly understand that. That makes sense. I like it. I think instead of that, I would also like to just shave my arms and my legs and my chest and my shoulders. Basically everything from here down. I would shave my face. I would have a short haircut, which they do. I would want as little hair on my body as possible in order to, you know, reduce the chances of leaving DNA.
Right.
The only reason I wouldn't shave my eyebrows and my head is obviously I would look like a fucking pariah, which would make me, you know, everyone would be like, oh, you mean that fucking lizard guy that walked by? Like, yeah, I definitely recognize him. You know, so there's like certain normalcies that you would keep, your eyebrows and some hair, maybe even not hair. You're definitely your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Definitely no beard, because that's pointless. Hair, you could do a buzz cut to reduce chances of leaving hair follicles.
Or just shave it.
Or just shave it and have your eyebrows. Pretty much only thing that needs to stay without looking like a pariah is your eyebrows.
I agree.
So instead of doing all the scrubby, I would be doing a lot of shavy.
You should still do the scrubby, though. It's dead skin
Yeah,
cells, all that
yeah,
fun stuff.
right.
You're exfoliating, you're getting everything off. It's still smart.
Yeah.
But the fucking hair from the barbershop is fucking genius.
The hair from the barbershop I thought was
Genius.
fucking genius. Whoever came up with that and decided to put that in the movie should be on a watch list.
You should fucking watch your boy.
Yeah.
Watch your boy.
He's thinking really outside the box for a reason.
They're like, we know he makes money, but does he make that much money?
Yeah. Beautiful pit maneuver.
Oh.
All right, let's pause. So, police-wise, from former law enforcement, police-wise, beautiful pit maneuver. It was perfectly done. You got the guy spun out. The only thing is, think about it. You're a police officer. You got armed suspects who just committed a bank robbery. You're going to pit them, and then the first thing that you're going to grab for outside of your steering wheel is a microphone.
Megaphone?
A megaphone to be like, stop. Fuck no. You're going to be pulling out your gun. You're going to be kicking open the door. You're going to be running back to the back of the car to get some cover. And you're going to be taking aim on the driver so you could shoot him in the fucking face the minute he thinks about shooting rounds at you. Right. The minute he thinks about showing a gun. It's game over. It's carte blanche for a police officer to just destroy you. You did a beautiful pit maneuver. Why would you get on the radio and ask him nicely to get out of the car?
Like now he's gonna give up.
Right.
Now it's
like,
over.
he asked nicely. He said that. So it just was so stupid. And then another thing, after they go in the police scene, they were able to ditch the police officers and find another vehicle. Completely unrealistic. You're in a city. There's hundreds of police officers. There's hundreds of police officers from other jurisdictions. The minute you rob a bank and you're an armed suspect, it's going out to your city, the city next to you, the city next to them. Everyone knows that you're in a pursuit. Everyone is coming after you. You're going to get air in there. You're going to have a fucking helicopter following your movements. I don't even need to pit maneuver you at this point. I just need to keep eyes on you at some point. So the minute they start shooting at me, I could pull way back because I don't need to be engaged in a gunfight. I just need to say they're going left on this street. They're going southwest on this street. They're going north on this street. So intel is everything because that way the bird could find them. Once the bird locates them, it's game over because they could just hover over them and watch them. As soon as they start to get out on foot, which all suspects do, is as soon as they know it's not happening with the vehicle, they get out and start running. And they think that if they split up, which to be fair works sometimes, that they can get away. But we can cordon the area, we can get the dogs out, we can start getting the dogs hunting your scent. It's a fucking wrap, son. If you rob a bank in a big city, you're getting caught. Unless you never hint them off at all and you just get away with it clean, you're getting caught. If the police know where you are, you're getting caught. There's going to be hundreds of fucking cops all over that bitch. You're not going to be able to get away.
No.
Like if you came into my area in Denver and you started shooting off rounds, it happened to me. It happened. I wasn't getting shot at. I was in roll call. The worst decision of my life was to stay and talk to a sergeant and be like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're having fun bullshitting. We just got released out of roll call. My buddy calls out, bring the city.
Oh, I remember that.
And I was like, what? He was getting shot at. They were in a gunfight. A rookie got shot in the chest. It was a fucking shenanigans. I was doing 95 miles an hour down the shoulder of I-25 southbound. There was so much traffic. I was fucking 100 miles an hour down a shoulder, off in the side. I didn't give a fuck if my tires blown. I didn't give a fuck if I crashed. I was getting to that gunfight the fastest I could. And so was everyone else in the entire city. Not my district, not fucking this local area. The whole city is doing 100 miles an hour to you. So to think that you're going to shoot at officers and then just suddenly get in another vehicle and get away is asinine.
Officer.
Down here.
All right, boss. All right, guys, so you wouldn't believe what you can get away with wearing a police officer's uniform.
Oh, fuck, murder.
It's insane. It's bananas. So we just wanted to take a break and arm you with some intel, especially for your wives, for females out there. Not just females, but, just mothers. To me, it's mothers, sisters, females, wives. People that are just like, I just want to do what I'm supposed to do so I can move on with the situation. If you ever feel hinky, that word bothers people.
If you ever feel hinky.
If you ever feel weird or uncomfortable with the situation about a police officer, if you ever think that there's any kind of strangeness happening with a police officer, all you have to do is call 911. Don't open your door. Don't talk to a police officer. Don't roll down your window. Don't communicate with them. Call 911 dispatch. What's going to happen is it's going to automatically dispatch to your local area, and they're going to say, 911, can we help you? What's the emergency? Whatever they say. And all you're going to say is, hi, dispatch, I am at this location. I am on I-25 northbound at mile marker whatever, or in this area. I just want to make sure I'm being pulled over by a police officer. I just want to make sure that that's legit. Can you let me know if you have a police officer pulling me over? Dispatch is completely synonymous from the police department. So you're not calling the police. When you call 911, you're not calling the police. You're calling dispatch. It's completely separate. So, but dispatch controls all the police officers. Trust me. They are an entirely different entity. So if you ever have any question, call 911 and say, I am at this location. Do you have a police officer here? And they will say, hang on one sec. They'll reach out and they'll look. They'll track all their officers and they will give you yes or no. If there's somehow you end up in a situation where it's no and that is a fake police officer, they will send a real police officer there to you and that guy will get arrested or girl will get arrested. So if you feel weird about it and if you're wrong, no harm, no foul. They will say, yes, we have a police officer there. They're conducting a traffic stop for plates, for taillights, for whatever reason. Are you that driver? And you will say, yes, I'm that driver. I just want to confirm. They'll say, yes, that is an actual police officer. Good to go. So just know that you have a way to confirm. Call 911. It'll automatically dispatch it to your area. Confirm with 911 dispatch that that police officer is in the area. Just some information for you guys.
Hey, don't move. Don't move. Your weapons down. Fuck you, Boston PD. Go, coming through. Stand down. Stand down. See you in Florida, kid. See you when you get back. All right, guys, it's back up. Heads got this.
All right, pause.
Hey,
So that would never happen. You have a shooter in a parking garage. You have an active shooter. You're going to have SWAT cordoning the area. SWAT is going to completely take over this operation. Or let's say it's FBI. FBI HRT is going to completely take over this operation. You're not just going to have randomly patrol officers coming in and being like, put your guns down.
To other patrol officers.
Right, to a SWAT unit.
Yeah.
Like there's echelons, there's tiers, just like special operations, there's tiers. Like an infantry unit's not going to come in and tell a bunch of SF guys to put their guns down. So SWAT or FBI HRT is going to own that entire fucking area. Nobody's coming in. No, if you're going to use patrol officers, but you're going to use them as an outer base to make sure that nobody comes into your cordoned area.
That's it.
That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Beers and Breakdowns, The Town. Amazing movie. I love this movie. I think it's one of the best movies that Ben Affleck's ever done. I do like him as Batman. I know there's a lot of hate about him being Batman. Grant Cardone could suck a fat. He's a piece of shit. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Beers and Breakdowns, The Town. Don't listen to Grant Cardone. Don't listen to Liver King. They're all full of shit. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.